Hi guys, it's Ben Heath from Lead Guru and welcome to my weekly Facebook ads Q&A show. So before I jump into the questions, I just want to quickly say that if you want your Facebook ad question to be answered in next week's show, then either leave a comment below this video or join my Facebook ads mastermind group. There'll be a link in the video description. Ask your question there, there's a good chance it'll be featured in next week's show. So with that said, with that out of the way, let's get started with the questions. So the first one is, what's better for B2B businesses, Facebook ads or LinkedIn ads? That's a very interesting question. Now, a lot of B2B businesses would probably think that LinkedIn ads would be the better platform to use. And LinkedIn ads definitely have some advantages over Facebook advertising. So with LinkedIn, you can be really specific with who you advertise to business-wise. So you can advertise based on job role, and everyone on LinkedIn has their job role on LinkedIn, unlike Facebook. You can advertise based on the size of company, whether they're a CEO, their specific position. There's lots of different options for targeting businesses and business owners very specifically, or at least decision makers in businesses very specifically. And that is an advantage over Facebook. But I think for most businesses, Facebook ads, most B2B businesses, Facebook ads are still going to produce the best results. The number one reason why is the cost of the two platforms. So on Facebook, you typically see, when I'm advertising in the UK, I'll normally see something like £6 to £8 CPM. So per 1,000 impressions, it's costing around about £7. On LinkedIn, for the same CPM metric, the same 1,000 impressions, it might be as much as 10 times that. We regularly £60, £70 CPM. So to reach 1,000 people on LinkedIn, it might cost you 10 times as much as it does to reach 1,000 people on Facebook. Now, even if that LinkedIn audience is a little bit more targeted, the cost is the advantage of that is unlikely to overcome the increase in cost. So that's one major disadvantage to LinkedIn ads. And if you're wondering why is that the case, that's simply because a lot of businesses put huge recruitment advertising budgets into LinkedIn. So they advertise for new job roles and things like that, and that really raises the price of LinkedIn ads versus Facebook. The other advantage that Facebook ads has over LinkedIn ads is that people spend a lot more time on Facebook. Even, people that are professionals involved in business, they're probably still spending a lot more time on Facebook. That's where their friends and family interact. That's where their, football game on a Monday night. That's where the Facebook group dictates all of that. So people are spending a lot more time on Facebook than they are on LinkedIn, and Facebook has a lot more members. So depending on who you want to reach, that might be important as well. So if you offer a very expensive service to very specific business owners in a certain industry with only companies that have, let's say, more than 50 employees, LinkedIn may be the way to go because the cost of your service might overcome the cost of advertising and it might be more beneficial. Most other businesses, even if they are B2B, are probably going to see better results from Facebook. But of course, you can always test both and see which works best. I'm a big advocate of testing anything Facebook advertising, LinkedIn advertising related. Okay, next question. In a new Facebook ad account with no data, do you start with the traffic or conversions objective? So this person wants to know if they're looking to directly generate leads and sales in a new Facebook ad account, should you use the traffic objective where you're just optimizing for link clicks or landing page views, or should you use the conversion objective and go after, a specific lead or a purchase or something like that? I tend to use the conversions objective. Not everyone does. A lot of people start with traffic, generate some data within their ad account, generate some pixel data, and then switch to conversions when Facebook has worked out a little bit of who is most likely to convert. But I've tested this, campaigns alongside each other, and even brand new campaigns tend to perform, from my experience, better with the conversions objective. So that's what I start with. But again, something you can test. Okay, so next question is, do you use Facebook advertising tools? And I went back to the person who asked this in my Facebook ads mastermind group, and they were asking sort of external to audience insights, ads manager, and things like that. And the answer is no. I find that I can get everything I need from Audience Insights, which is a free tool that all Facebook advertisers can use, and obviously Ads Manager itself. I don't use any sort of external software. There are lots available. I know people that do find them very useful. Personally, I don't. I think I get enough. So short answer is no, I don't. Next question. What offer would you use on Facebook? What offer would you use in a Facebook lead generation campaign for a real estate agent? So this guy's running a lead generation campaign on Facebook for a real estate agent and want to know the offer to use. So a lot of times when we run lead generation campaigns, we will use a free consultation. If it's a service-based business, sometimes we're offering a special discount offer service. For a real estate agent, one of the things that comes to mind is a free valuation. So if you're thinking of selling your house, selling your property, one of the things you want to know is, what is this likely to sell for? It's something that's often offered by real estate agents, is a free valuation, but if you can get that right in front of someone in their Facebook newsfeed and they've been thinking maybe about selling their house, they know they need to get round to getting some valuations done, it pops up, free valuation, fantastic, go ahead and use it. Offers on lead generation campaigns on Facebook don't need to be unique or special. As I said, we often use a free consultation. Most service businesses offer a free consultation. It's more about being in the right place at the right time and getting that person to take action. And then once you've started that conversation with them via a free valuation, you can obviously look to get that listing and do business with them. So next question, what's better for a local business? Lead generation or conversion campaigns on Facebook? Now, this is something that we'll often test, whether it's a local business, a service-based business, we will often test a lead generation campaign, which if you're not familiar is where people click on a Facebook ad and they're presented with a form inside of Facebook to submit their contact information, as opposed to a conversions campaign where people will be sent to a company's website and they can obviously inquire there. If you're not familiar with lead generation campaigns, I'll include a link in this video description to a video I've created about exactly how to create a lead ad campaign, goes through all the steps. Really useful video if you haven't done that already. And the answer is we will often test both. The trade-off that we see is a lead generation campaign on Facebook is often going to produce more volume. It's going to produce a higher volume of leads and often significantly more. Sending people to someone's website with a conversions campaign is often going to deliver a higher quality of lead. It really depends on your business. Some businesses are after more mass market and they want higher volume. Some are after higher quality, but as I said, it's something that we usually test. If your website is not up to scratch, it's not really nicely designed, I would go with the lead generation campaign. If you try and send people to a website that's a little bit outdated, that's not great, it's unlikely to do very well. Okay, next question. Can you build an email list from Facebook ads if you don't have a website? Yes, you can. We're talking a lot about lead generation campaigns in this video. You can do it through a lead generation campaign. So you don't have to send people to a website where they opt in with name, email address, and things like that. You can get them to do that through a lead generation campaign. When you create a Facebook lead ad, a lead generation campaign, you are going to need to include a link to a privacy policy. So you're going to need to have that in place. That's normally on your website. If you don't have that on the website, you're going to need to have that somewhere in order to comply with Facebook's terms and conditions. So yes, you can build an email list without a website. It's more difficult to do so. Do it with lead generation campaigns, make sure you include a privacy policy. But if you're advertising on Facebook, if you're advertising online, I would recommend you get a website created. They're not very expensive, particularly if you use a templated service, and it's well worth doing. Okay, next question. How do I target business owners with Facebook ads? Good question. We talked about that at the beginning of the video with LinkedIn ads versus Facebook ads. There's not a huge amount of specificity with which you can target business owners. So you're not going to be able to easily target different industries, company sizes, etc. But one targeting option you can use is Facebook page admins. And then more specifically within that, you can target business page admins. Because of course, a lot of Facebook pages have nothing to do with a business. They could be for sports teams or local events or charities or whatever it happens to be. So you might want to narrow that down to just business page admins. That's a very large audience in most countries, but a very effective one if you want to reach business owners, particularly small business owners. Of course, if your existing customers are business owners, you can take that list of existing customers, upload it to Facebook and create a lookalike audience from it. Again, there'll be a link in the video description explaining what lookalike audiences are, how you set them up, all that sort of stuff. And that lookalike audience is going to contain a lot of business owners as well. That's probably the better targeting option if you do have that previous customer list. Okay, next question. Can you have more than one Facebook pixel on a single website? So yes, you can. There are often, you'll see some websites, big websites with a number of different pixels on them. You can use Google Chrome's Facebook Pixel Helper extension to see sort of what Facebook pixels are installed on a particular website. It's quite interesting to see other websites, what's on there. And what you'll find is that you'll often see multiple ad accounts advertising a particular website, particularly if it's a big company, and each one of those ad accounts will have a pixel installed. So there's no problem with doing so. Some people say it confuses the data a little bit. I haven't seen that. I've run campaigns with 2 pixels on one website a number of times and haven't had any issues. So yes, you can. Okay, next and final question. My Facebook page has a lot of followers. Should I advertise to those people first? So it depends how you acquired those likes, those followers. If you bought them, absolutely not. If they were accrued via advertising, like most people's likes, that's how my own page is 80,000+ Facebook page likes were built up, then it can be a great way to generate social proof. So if you create a new ad, you can push it out, advertise it specifically to the people that already like your page, and those people will like, they'll comment, they'll share, so that when you do push that ad out to cold audiences, it's got that social proof which acts as a mini endorsement, can help improve your Facebook ad results. Don't expect fantastic results other than engagement from the people that already like your Facebook page, because a lot of those people would have bought your product and service, they'll have interacted with your company, and unless you're launching something brand new, they're unlikely to take action immediately. But it can be a great way to generate social proof. It's something we often do with our own page, with our clients with larger Facebook followings, to get that social proof, because if you're then pushing out to cold audiences, that can make a big difference. I wouldn't recommend you spend a lot on it if you do. So if you are going to advertise to those cold audiences, if you are going to advertise to your Facebook followers first, run it for just a couple of days just to get a few dozen, or if you're on a larger scale, a few hundred likes, a handful of comments, handful of shares. Doesn't need to have a huge amount of social proof to perform well, just needs to be past the ad looking like nothing's going on barrier, which is significant when you first run a Facebook ad. Okay, so hopefully that's been useful. As I said, if you want your question answered in next week's show, leave a comment below. I get to all the YouTube comments, so I will respond in the comment section, but I also may include it in next week's show. And as I said, join my Facebook Ads Mastermind group, link in the video description, and you'll be able to ask your questions there. Not just me in there, there's tons of Facebook advertising experts in that group. I think there's up to about 1,700 members at the moment. Lots of people there to answer your questions and help you get better results on Facebook, which is what my YouTube channel and group and everything I do online is all about. Don't forget to subscribe. Please give the video a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate that. And I'll talk to you next week. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.